everybody, so today I have a pretty exciting video. I tend to do these videos about once a year, and it is about that time of year for me to do my products I don't like, products I regret buying, disappointing products video. So again, I try to do these at least once a year. I don't have a ton of products to talk about because I did start a drawer in my makeup setup where I would just toss anything that didn't work for me in it, and then my friends would rifle through it. So there's a lot of products that I just don't remember or don't have, but I do have a decent amount of products here. This is actually my second time filming this, which is super annoying. Thanks, computer. You suck for corrupting my file. Just another month and I get a new laptop. Another month, I can do it. Anyways, so today I'm just going to be talking about products that I didn't like for one reason or another. As every single YouTuber ever says while making these videos, take this with a grain of salt. These are just my opinions. And a lot of these products I know work for other people. I just can't get them to work for me. So, as always, try the products for yourself and see if they end up working for you or not. Or just don't waste your money. So anyways, if you all want to see my products I regret buying, then just keep watching. So the first item I'm going to talk about are the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion, they aren't concealers, they're like correctors. These came out this year, I believe. I have the peach one and the yellow one, and these just don't do enough for me. I way prefer my Pixie Under Eye Brightening Concentrate. This peach one is just not pigmented enough. The only thing I could see these working for is if you use the green one, because you usually don't want green correctors to be super pigmented, but when it comes to like peach correctors, you do want them pigmented because you want them to counteract that blue undertone. When I filmed this the first time yesterday, I had tried this and it literally made zero difference. Like, my under eyes look the exact same as they did yesterday when I filmed this and used it. So these they're cute, but they just don't do really anything, especially for dark circles or for brightening. I just don't like these, and I would just save your money and use the Pixie one. The Pixie one I think is like 10 bucks. These are like 5, but again, I think the Pixie one is way, way, way better. I want to talk about, I will link the video up here where I first tried this. This is by Au Naturel. This is the blush that hit me in the face. Again, go watch the video to see that clip because it's hilarious. But this is the Au Naturel Powder Blush in the shade Gilded Sunset. Now, the product in here is not bad, but the packaging is terrible. Such an awful decision. It is in a pump, and it's not like a pump, it's like a sprayer. Like, you know how on some natural dry shampoos they have this kind of sprayer? Like, this seriously shoots out. It's ridiculous, and it's just super messy. I've tried putting it on the back of my hand and picking it up with a brush. I've tried spraying it right onto the brush and tapping off the excess. No matter what I use, it just goes on my cheeks really, really patchy, and I think it's because of the application. I wish this was in a jar where you could kind of get a little bit all over your brush and get it evenly distributed, because this color is really, really pretty. It's I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell, but it's really similar to, well, I'm going to try to spray a little bit. It's really similar to NARS Orgasm. Oh my gosh, you can't even see that. Oh, see, this is what I mean. It just shoots out so much. It's really similar to NARS Orgasm or Super Orgasm, where it's that peachy pink with a gold reflect. It's really gorgeous. Look how pretty that is. But just the packaging was just a terrible decision, and I can't get it to work for me. There were a lot of products from Au Naturel that did not work for me in that video, but I don't want to include those in this video because I didn't try them enough. This one I have tried multiple times, and I just can't get it to work for me. Just put it in a jar with a nice little sifter or one of those net things that you can press down on. Just do that. I don't understand this. Why is this necessary? And it's super wasteful because there's so much product that shoots out. I just can't. Not on board with this. Next, I have a couple face powders. The first, I believe, is new-ish from e.l.f. They launched this year, and it's just the e.l.f. HD finishing powder. Now, I thought this was going to be like the HD under eye setting powder, the under eye setting powder. I thought this was gonna be a bigger version of that, and I got super excited, but it's not. It does not perform the same. It does that thing. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but a lot of the times when I try to set my under eyes with translucent powder, it emphasizes erases my under eye circles. It does not look good. This did that. I didn't like setting all over my face with it because it just looked really chalky and textured and just didn't meld well with my foundation and just looked off. So I really don't like this powder. If you're looking for a good powder from the drugstore, highly recommend the NYX Set It and Don't Fret It. If you've been on my channel, I actually haven't used it for a few months, but if you've been watching my channel, you know how holy grail that powder is. This one just did not do anything for me. The next powder is from 100% Pure, and I would say this is one of the like more well-known products from 100% Pure. They aren't like a crazy well-known brand, but they're pretty well-known in the cruelty-free and especially in the cruelty-free and vegan space. This is their Bamboo Blur Powder. This is one of those items where I hear a lot of my friends talking about it, like Jess, Vegan Beauty Addict, Tashina from Logical Harmony, and they all loved it. But this did not work out to me. This was sent to me, and this just did not work for me. It didn't really control my oil, which I need a powder to control my oil. I am an oily ass bitch. Second, it just made my foundation patchy, or it like patched onto my foundation, where a lot of the time, not every single time, but a lot of the time with any foundation, I would like apply this and then I'd go to put on my bronzer and it would make my bronzer super patchy. It's like it would like set down in some areas and like gather in other areas. And this is like a pretty expensive powder, and I have just found so many other powders that work better for me, so I just don't recommend this one. Maybe if you have dry skin, but I can't get this to work for me. It goes so patchy on me, which is so weird. I've never had a face powder go patchy, but this one does. Alright, next let's continue in the theme of face products. I'm not going to talk about this thing a lot because I've already roasted the crap out of it. I will link the video up here. I did a foundation ranking video, and this foundation ranked very last. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I wanted to love this. So many people love this. I mean, ShanXO just compared this to a YSL foundation, so this is definitely one of those items where it's cheap enough and there's so many mixed reviews that you should just try it for yourself. But this did not work out for me. One, it smells like paint, like straight up opened a can of paint to paint on your wall paint. Like, it smells so bad. The coverage is mediocre and the finish is just weird. It gives me so much texture and it doesn't wear well on my skin. I just don't like this. I hate the applicator. It's like a paddle applicator. I just don't like this for so many different reasons. There are so many other drugstore foundations that I absolutely love that I just can't get on board with even trying to like this one. Next item is again from Wet n Wild. I feel like I love so many things from Wet n Wild. I'm wearing like one of their eyeshadow palettes on my eyes right now. I love their blushes. I love like so many of their new items that they're coming out with, but their complexion products have been very hit or miss. I really like the Illuminati highlighting pen, and I love the old like celebrity, like it's like in a squeezy tube and it's called the Celebrities Concealer. Love that. This, I don't like this. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. This is another one of those items that is very hit or miss for a lot of people. People either love this or they hate this. I don't really see a lot of people that are like, it's okay. To me, I really don't like this. This just like every time I'll like forget about this and I'll be like, no, I don't like it. And then I'll look at it a couple months later and I'll be like, maybe it wasn't as bad as I remembered. And I try it and it is. It's just the coverage is nice, but it's very heavy and just emphasizes all of the texture on my under eyes. And like, I have pretty textured under eyes. I mean, I got a lot of fine lines under there, and this just doesn't do anything for them. And it just is like uncomfortably heavy on my skin. I am just not a fan of this. Alright, keeping with the theme of face products, I have two other like face products to talk about. The first is relatively new to me. I've only used it a couple times, but this is the new Wet n Wild Make Glow Highlighting Powder in Botanic Dream. And this, like, it's not bad, but it was just so disappointing, and like you can find so many good highlighters lately that I was just like super underwhelmed by this. It's just not as reflective as, even I have the gold, like one of the gold shades in this, and it's just not nearly as reflective. It looks really powdery on the skin and just doesn't give me that reflect. And I'm like, I'm used to like reflective highlights. Like, this is BH Cosmetics. You guys know I've been obsessed with that palette, so like I am comparing it to that, but like that one is still affordable, so like why can't this one perform like that one if they're both affordable? You know what I mean? So I was just really underwhelmed by this. They also need to come out with like lighter shades. Like the gold that I have, I can only really wear when I'm fake tanned, and I'm just not a fan of these. They're like cute, but they just don't do enough for me. And I have so many other highlights that give me that like glow. Like the Milani highlights, so good. BH Cosmetics Spotlight Highlighting Palette. And even some of their like Wet n Wild's other highlights that they've released have like done better than these. So I'm just not a big fan. This color may just be a dud because like I said, I have the gold one and it's really pretty. But this one just looked weird on my skin and it really just wasn't flattering. Oh my gosh, this Makeup Geek sparkler that is on my eyelids is literally just going everywhere. Like it is all over my lashes, it is all over my crease. These sparklers are like so hit and miss. Anyways, the next face product that I have to talk about is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer. This I think is a like sample size. My friend actually gave it to me. I think she got it in an Ipsy bag, but this just like doesn't do much. Like this is not very pigmented and like I get it. I'm heavy-handed when it comes to my bronzer. I understand. So maybe a not very pigmented, you know, bronzer is good for somebody like me, but I just have to build this up like way too much. It's really pretty like once you get to the end result, but it's just not pigmented enough. And I just like, especially for Tarte, it's more expensive. I'm pretty sure the full size has to be at least $30. I just don't think this is very good. I way prefer my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, ColourPop's bronzer, not the orange one, but the fairest one. And I don't like this and I don't think it's worth the money. Okay, I have two kind of random items and then we have a lot of eyeshadow to discuss back there. The first is the ColourPop fan brush. Now when ColourPop launched they launched like pressed highlights, pressed bronzers, concealers, and brushes. I just like impulse bought so much of it, and the one brush that I picked up was the fan brush because I was like, okay, if somebody's gonna do a good fan brush, it's gonna be ColourPop. No, I don't like this brush because it's too thin. Like it leaves, if I use it on its side, it doesn't blend very well, but if I use it like this, then it's just like a streak of highlight. The only reason I could think about using this is just to have a nose highlighting brush, anyways, I just don't like this. Like I said, you could just use this for nose highlight, but that's just so unnecessary. Like if I have it in my collection, then sure, but like, ugh. So actually today I use this for my nail art to like brush off the glitter. So I mean, if you're into nail art and you want a good fan brush for nail art, this is great, but for highlighting, I just don't like it. Oh, and then I have two lip products to talk about. The first is the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Matte Liquid Lipstick. This is in the shade Wink. The color is gorgeous, but I do not like this formula. I will say I know the girls from Dupe That, K and L really like this formula. I really don't, and here's why. Have you ever tried the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams? If you like those, you will love this, but they're pretty much the same formula, so save your money and buy the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. But I don't like those because they are so streaky and so hard to work with. They are very comfortable, but it's one of those like liquid lipsticks where it doesn't really dry down. Like it gets drier, but it never dries down. They aren't transfer proof. They're kind of like liquid suedes or like ultra satin lips, but the ultra satin lips and the liquid suedes are so much better because these are so streaky. It's one of those liquid lipsticks where you put it on and then if you like mush your lips together, you get a line like wherever your lips touched each other, or if you like put it on and try to put in another layer, it gets streaky underneath. The color again is really pretty. This is in the shade Wink. It's very moussey and whipped feeling, but it's just way too high maintenance of a lip color. Let's just put it that way. Just way too high maintenance, way too streaky for me, and I just don't like it. And then the next is a weird one. This one is by Colored Rain, and this is in the shade Sugar. Now, I really like Colored Rain lipsticks. I first purchased that like little set that like is like coffee themed, and I really liked it. So I've been looking for more indie brands to replace my Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks. I'm still looking to replace my Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks. Like I'm Nude, Mannequin, those shades were everything. So I'm still looking to replace them, and I thought Colored Rain would be a really good alternative. So I really liked a lot of their shades, and then so I bought that 5 set, and then I bought 2 more. I bought the shade Satin Cream, and I bought the shade Sugar. Now I will say that like every single one of these has different packaging. Like there's this one with like the dots over it. There's like sugar, or no, there's satin cream that looks like that. And then there's sugar that looks like this. So they all have different packaging, so I'm wondering if I just got like a bad formula, but this one in particular, in sugar, is so, like, you remember like the first run of Ultra Matte lips from ColourPop? They are so drying, like so drying. Like I remember doing a review of those when like not very many liquid lipsticks were out, and those were some of the only ones that I had tried, so I was like, yeah, they're good. But now that I've tried like really good liquid lipstick formulas, this is just like so drying, so flaky, so butthole lip, and it's just so uncomfortable. But the rest of them aren't like that. So if any of you all are like more familiar with Colored Rain's liquid lipsticks, has this happened to you? Is this packaging like old packaging where this formula isn't as good? Like let a girl know, because I really like this color. Like it's like a beautiful beige nude that you guys know that I love, but the formula I just can't get behind. It is so crusty, I can't. Okay, and then Mama has some eyeshadow to talk about. Now I've said like recently when I have been trying the new Wet n Wild Color Icon eyeshadows that I am not a huge fan of drugstore eyeshadows. I like my affordable eyeshadows like BH Cosmetics, ColourPop, Makeup Geek, but drugstore eyeshadows I find are like extremely hit or miss, and these are some examples of hit or miss eyeshadows that I do not. The first are these little e.l.f. palettes. I know so many people love these palettes, but I just think they're not very good. Like you can get them to work. They like are eyeshadow, but I don't think they're very good eyeshadows. So this one is the Need It Nude palette. This is very similar to like your Urban Decay Naked One palette. And then I have the Mad for Matte palette, which like a lot of people just like lose their shit over. And again, I can get a decent eye look from these. Like they aren't terrible. If you're in a pinch, if you like only have, you know, these accessible to you, you can make them work. But I just don't think they're good eyeshadows, and I think you could put your money towards better affordable eyeshadows. Like the new Color Icon eyeshadow palettes from Wet n Wild, like ColourPop single shadows, or even one of ColourPop's new palettes. I think you could just put your money towards way better eyeshadows. I just find that I have to build these up so much, and they just don't build very well too. So I'm just not a fan. Speaking of hit or miss eyeshadow palettes, I was actually talking to one of you guys when you had commented on one of my like recent videos about NYX eyeshadow palettes, and I find NYX eyeshadows to be super hit or miss. Like I love the multi-finish eyeshadow palettes. I used to love their like single prismatic shadows, but some of them I just don't like. And this is one of them. This is the NYX Lid Lingerie, and I had tried this a few times and I was just so underwhelmed by it. I just tossed it in my drawer and I was just like, I don't like this. The colors are okay pigmented, but again, you just have to build them up so much. And I have so many shades like this warm brown, like this lavender. Like I have so many shades like this that perform so much better that I just don't find this one to perform nearly as well. The colors just don't have much punch to them, and that's kind of a theme with the shadows that I don't like. They are okay, but they don't have much like power or punch or like pigment to them. They like blend okay, you can build them, but there's just so many better eyeshadows out there that I'm just not a fan of this one. And if I remember right, this little palette was kind of expensive. I think it was like around $12. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was like a little bit more. It was definitely over 10. So I would put your money towards other eyeshadows. This next one literally makes me really sad because I was so excited about these eyeshadows. I've tried them multiple times and they just do not work. They are like crappier than some crappy ass eyeshadows that I've tried. I know that sounds super mean and super harsh. I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be harsh, but I was just so incredibly underwhelmed. And it is the Suva Beauty single eyeshadow. So when I went to IMATS, I went to the Suva Beauty booth and I was expecting so much. When I see some of my favorite like Instagram makeup artists like use Suva Beauty, they're always these like crazy, colorful, punchy looks. And so I was just like, yeah, like I didn't even like I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna try them. So it was $50 for 8 eyeshadows, and this is just like one of those things where you can build your own palette. I was really looking forward to this replacing my Urban Decay electric palette. You all know how much I love my Urban Decay electric palette. It is being discontinued if it's not already discontinued, and so I was hoping to find something like permanent that I could use when I wanted to do bright colors, and I'm still on the hunt. These swatch really nice, but applied to your eyes, they do nothing. Again, the pigment is just not there, which is crazy because like look at them. They look like they're going to be amazing. The only one I will say is like I like this one that I think is called Hookah. This one is pretty good, but these like brighter colors, this red comes off more like a soft pink. These yellow and this blue, I just used these two in a tutorial that went up like a few days ago. Just nothing there, and you really, like I did a get ready with me. I will put it up here where I did a get it ready with me using these shadows, and the end result was really cool, but I had to work at it super freaking hard because it was one of those things where I would keep trying to build and keep trying to blend, but then it would blend away the shadow that I put on before that. So these were just incredibly disappointing to me. I do not recommend them. I would highly recommend like ColourPop bright eyeshadows, or like if you can still find the Urban Decay electric somewhere, get it. Like get it ASAP. But these were just absolutely not good eyeshadows in my opinion. Alright everybody, so those are products that I regret buying, products that I do not like. If these products are products that are some of your favorites, comment down below and tell me why you like them, or if I'm maybe using it wrong or whatever. If some of these you agree with, let me know why you hate them too. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want to see these videos more often. If you do, I will try to be more conscious of like what I'm giving away and only give away stuff that I've already talked about in the products I regret buying, yada yada yada. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!